Hi everyone, it's Penny Black and Jill Foster here with video number 2 in our Flowers and Frames video series. Here's a look at the card we'll be creating today, featuring some really easy brushstroke stamping, which gives the look of it just being this amazing watercolor artist right on your cards, and all the work is done in the stamp. So to begin, here is what I have pre-prepped before starting. If you want to know more about my sort of creative prep process, I'll put a link to a video about that down below. Everything here is cut from Strathmore Bristol smooth paper. Sorry about that. And these are the stamps we're using. So I have our new Flourishing brushstroke stamp and our footnotes. I'm going to do a little bit of background stamping with that. So this is Strathmore Bristol smooth paper. That is the paper I think that works beautifully with this technique. I'm using the interior piece from that Waves die cut, and I am inking this up using a water soluble ink. I'm using Distress inks, and I'm inking up over the entire image. And the colors I'm using are shaded lilac. Then I'm using Seedless preserves here and kind of turning the mini ink pad at an angle and putting it more towards the bottom of each flower. And then I will later go back with some chipped sapphire really towards the bottom to darken things up. So I'm kind of you do all of your shading, all of your coloring right there on the stamp. Now off to the side I do have a cup of water and a paintbrush and a paper towel. And I'll just do a little bit of blending with those. And you'll see that here once I stamp this. Now this part right here is where I'm putting that little bit of chipped sapphire. So the shaded lilac, the lightest color, went over the whole thing. Then Seedless preserves probably about halfway up on the flowers, and a touch of the chipped sapphire at the bottom. Turning those ink pads and using the edge, the corner. I lightly misted that with water, and then I'm stamping it down. Now here's why I have that that paintbrush right there. I can easily just go back and blend any areas. If I didn't mist it enough, I can blend it out like I'm doing here. If I mist too much and I have some blobby areas, I can also sort of smooth that out. My paintbrush is not very wet. I've dipped it in the water and patted it dry, mostly dry on the paper towel, so I can just go in and lightly blend this. And look at that. It's like you spent a lot of time doing a watercolor painting, but it is the stamp that does all of the work for you. I love with this stamp too, it's very sort of abstract. There's not a lot of detail to it, so it's quite forgiving if you are new to this technique. Now you could certainly stop there, but I always like to just add a little bit more color, a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to just restamp that. So while it's still kind of wet over on the paper, I'm going to do the same thing again. It's a pretty quick process. You don't have to do this, but I like just building that color up a little bit, and this is fun for me. Now all of the colors and everything that I'm using in this video will be listed for you down in the YouTube description box. And then I also will list and link all of the Penny Black supplies for you down in that description box as well. So you can see there how much that really did darken up. I like to start light, and I can always go back and just do a little bit more. So I've stamped it down, and I'm just very quickly and lightly blending that out a little bit. And that takes away the pressure of trying to get things perfectly misted. Now I am going to just dry this a little bit with my heat tool. I'm going to clean off my stamp so I don't have any like blobs of water anywhere. And then what I'm going to do now is go in and get those stems. So since I did go ahead and not worry about them with those purples, I am now going to use a pretty dark green so that it will cover up any of that purple stamping. You could also even use a brown if you wanted. This is an Arteza Twine marker, Jungle Green. This is a water soluble marker. That way I can go back if I need to blend any of it on that Strathmore Bristol smooth paper. I can also mist it with water as well. And what I do is I just kind of turn the marker on its side so that that's what I'm using, especially when I'm trying to cover more of large areas. And it will take a couple of times just to darken it up But again, very easy to do, and it adds so much just to have that variation in the color. If I missed any areas, I can just go back and add it. So I'm going to take that out and take a look at that. How fun to just be able to stamp the look of watercolor. So I'm going to add some ink blending right on top of this. You will want to make sure that it is dry before you do that. You can use a heat tool to speed it up. On mine, actually, it wasn't quite dry. So I did have some smearing going on. So I did go back and kind of dry that a little bit more. I used Evergreen Bough Distress ink using an ink blending tool and a foam pad, and just a touch of Memento Toffee Crunch on top of that for kind of a vintage look. Now here I've grabbed our footnote stamp. I love the look of just a light text with floral stamping. I think it just adds a lot of interest to a clean and simple card. So I stamped that using Toffee Crunch Memento ink. Now I want to be able to move this panel around on my card, the front of my card, as one piece. So I've just fit that interior piece inside of that frame, and I'm using just regular old Scotch tape to tape it in a few spots so I can just move it around as one piece. For me, that's just easier if I'm deciding if I want to add any layers behind it or wrap it with any type of twine. I just love how that turned out. So I'm going to now layer up some other frames. So when I prepped this and had it all in my envelope, I did cut that wavy frame 3 times, and I'm going to glue the other 2 just right on top. This just gives extra dimension. You don't have to do this, but I find I really like the look of it, especially on a clean and simple card. That little bit of dimension just adds a lot when there isn't a lot of other things going on the card. And this wavy frame, I have used it so many times. You're going to notice it a lot in this video series, but I think it is so versatile. And I can see using this for any occasion. So with flowers, of course, but also I think you could use this at Christmas. You could use this with anything. And I love die cuts and frame sets that are versatile like that. So I've got all those glued on, and I'm just going to wrap this with twine. So I'm going to tape the back of that on there and then just wrap it around a couple of times. This frame is also really great if you like to do that. It's like it has a perfect little spot there to fit it in. And I'm just going to tape the back and cut off the excess. It's easier for me to wrap and then tie a bow and glue it on than trying to tie the bow on the front with the part that's wrapped. I hope that makes sense. So I have kept the front of this card very clean and simple, but with flowers and frames, you could stamp any sentiment on the inside of your card. I'm also going to put a self-adhesive pearl on the center of that bow. And then I'm going to put this onto my card panel. This is a standard size card, 4¼ by 5½ inches, using some foam adhesive to pop up that entire piece. And here is a look at the finished card. Now I take that panel I'm working on and I add it to a card base. So that's how I like to create that. But you could certainly just pop that piece right onto your card base too. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you're inspired to give brushstroke stamps a try if you haven't already. Be sure that you're subscribed because there are lots more flowers and frames videos coming up very soon. And you can keep connecting with Penny Black on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, our website and blog, and all of those are linked for you in that YouTube description box below. Happy stamping!